Hey YouTube, happy almost 2020 everyone. I hope that everybody had a good holiday. I can't believe that 2019 is over and that 2020 is right around the corner. It's unbelievable. I can hear my neighbors getting turned already. But before I get started with this video, I just want to let you guys know that thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for comments, all the subscriptions, everything. I really enjoy interacting with you guys, and I hope that we get to continue to interact throughout 2020. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about frequency. And frequency on an energetic level, it doesn't just pertain to a frequency in itself, but we're going to tie this into people, rooms, colors, cell phones, and all the different aspects. So I want to start off with talking about frequency on the level of someone as an individual. So basically, everyone as a human being has a frequency, and this frequency can be translated into something that is called magnetism. So when I say magnetism, thinking about who and what are you attracting. When you're meeting someone for the first time, what is it exactly that you're feeling? So for a prime example, you may say that you're starting school for the first day, right? There's always that one kid and you're attracted to this kid. There's just something about that kid that you love. You want to be that kid's friend automatically. Now, mind you, you haven't spoken to that kid. You may not even be looking at that kid in terms of how they look, but just something about that kid is attracting you to them. You're being pulled towards them. So that right there is that kid's frequency. There's something about it that resonates with you. There's something about it that you like. Now, let's take this on the flip side, right? So you have the kid that you're attracted to, you have the kid that you like. Now, say that there's another kid, right? This this kid is staring at you in the middle of the room. I'm sorry for laughing because I'm just getting flashbacks of my elementary school days, but this kid is sitting in the middle of the room or standing, whatever. This kid is looking at you and you're just like, let me go to the other side of the room. Like, you're not feeling it at all. You're getting bad vibes from this kid. You're able to feel this kid's intentions towards you. It's just something about this kid that, you aren't necessarily vibing with. So in your mind, you're just like, I want to stay away from this kid. But say that that kid is attracted to your frequency. Say that that kid is like, I want to be, your friend, or that kid is maybe like, maybe I want to mess with you and I want to bully you. Well, you're feeling their frequency, they may be reading in on your frequency. Either way, you're able to pick up the positive frequency and you're also able to pick up the negative frequency in that same token. So this is relating and tailoring into our individual frequencies and also picking up on other people's frequencies. So you have the classroom, right? Now let's take it a little bit deeper and let's talk about the actual classroom in itself. Now, when you were little, I bet each and every one of you guys had that favorite teacher. And, when you walked into their classroom, you just loved the overall energy. You loved the way that the room was clean. You loved the way that it felt in there. It felt very free and flowy. It was the perfect environment for being able to nurture learning, right? This classroom, just something about it. Every single day you look forward to going into it, and you know when you went in there, you were just in tune, you were engaged with everything. It wasn't just, oh, I'm at school right now. You're actually learning stuff, you're vibing with it. Now, take it on the flip side, and I'm gonna put this for an example for myself. Say that it was a classroom like algebra. I really disliked math back then. Till this day, if you gave me an algebra equation or problem, I would not want to do it. So the algebra teacher, and say that that classroom, when I would walk into that classroom, I would feel a lot of tension. I would feel, my hands would bunch up. I would feel hot. I would feel dehydrated. I just didn't want to be in there at all. Well, I was picking up on the frequency within that classroom as well. I feel like a lot of people didn't understand algebra, and that classroom had a frequency in it itself that developed from all the hardship that happened in there, and it wasn't as easy, breezy, and flowing. Now, taking it from the relation of the subject, which can be correlated with people's feelings and the frequency being affected in the classroom, then you also have it whereas there can be a teacher in a classroom and the teacher may not be happy with the students, they may not be happy with their job. That teacher's frequency can also influence the frequency of that room. Now, let's also go into another aspect. This is also still talking about rooms. Have you guys ever gone into a room, said there are no students, no teacher, no classroom, but something about this room just feels very inviting? Say that the room has really calm and soothing colors. Say that there are a lot of plants in the room. Well, this can actually uplift the frequency of the room. And I'm going to tie this in with hospitals. So when you go to hospitals, oftentimes they paint the rooms either like a greenish color or a blue color. And the reason why they do this is because that color is known to calm the senses. It's known to soothe out the nerves. So a lot of these people who are sick or people that are healing and recovering, these rooms are able to assist with nurturing their healing through the vibration of colors, which ties in with light spectrum, which is a vibration in itself. Before we go a little bit too deep, I'm going to switch over and I'm going to talk about cell phones. Cell phones have a frequency, right? So for a cell phone to be able to connect to Wi-Fi, for it to be able to connect to the particular wireless network, this cell phone has a frequency within itself. When you have a cell phone in your pocket, sometimes you can feel, your pocket's heating up and you might just say, oh no, it's heat. But after a while, if you have your cell phone in your pocket for too long, you have to actually take it out because you can feel it. It feels odd. I wouldn't describe it as heat anymore, but it almost feels like your leg is kind of irritated. That cell phone is interacting too much with your own individual frequency. The cell phone is in itself connectivity. It's connecting with Wi-Fi and it's also connecting with the cellular network. Now, think about human beings, right? And think about yourself. In a way, you're like a cell phone, but even on a much deeper level because of the entire ring and loop of humanity. Everyone is connected, and it's like a spider web. I'm sorry, my phone's ringing. So, in that essence, everyone is connected to each other. You have that connectivity, right? Now, let's take it to another side, and we talk about people and connectivity. We're going to talk about the frequency of love. So, when you have love and there are two people involved and they're loving each other, the frequency almost becomes synonymous with each other. So if you're really in love with your significant other, you may notice sometimes that you guys may finish each other's sentences. You may have thoughts and they're thinking about the same thing. You might say, hey, let's go grab dinner somewhere. And they're like, how did you know that I was thinking about grabbing dinner in the exact same place? That frequency, when you're loving someone and you guys are just in sync, the frequencies actually can intertwine and the two can become one, right? So I'm getting excited over here because I'm channeling all this information and it's so deep and it's so cool. I'm going to move on. I'm going to talk about the frequency of music. So basically, when you're listening to music, every song has a frequency. There's some songs that you listen to and you just feel like you're vibing. You want to dance. You just want to move around. Some stuff, it makes you want to just start jumping. And there's some music where it's just so calming and relaxing and it just hits you and you're just like, this is my jam. This is my song, right? Then there's other music and it just gives you a headache. Like for me, that would be heavy metal. The vibration of heavy metal is extremely dense. If you play heavy metal, it can kill a plant. I'm sorry for y'all. Anyone that loves heavy metal, no offense to you guys, but the vibration is very dense and it isn't as high as, say, other genres of music. So the vibration of music is powerful in itself. They said back in the olden days, like the older music from the 50s and beforehand used to vibrate at 432 hertz. So the music was actually vibrating on a healing frequency. At some point, this vibration was switched in terms of regulations. So some music nowadays may be reincorporating that same hertz they used back then, but for the most part, it isn't as streamlined as it once was. So we're going to move on and we're going to talk about frequency in nature. Things such as oceans, mountains, rainforests. So the beach has a very magnetic frequency in itself. It's something that is very renewing. It's something that's very cleansing. You want to get in the water. You want to sit on the sand and soak up the sun. And you actually feel that when you're on the beach. And it's something where if you look at the beach every year, as soon as it gets warm, everyone is running to the beach. So that will be the vibration and frequency of the beach. Then you have the mountains. The mountains have a very relaxing frequency. It stimulates deep thought. It's also something where you're able to take a hike, or you're able to walk, and you're able to cleanse your mind, relaxation, people going camping, and connectivity, connecting people with one another. The rainforest has a very nurturing, a very mother-like connectivity and frequency in it. And then it also, thinking about all the different life forms that live in the rainforest and all the different herbs, vegetation. So the vibration of the rainforest is very old, ancient, very powerful, very uplifting, very nurturing. All right, so And concluding and talking about frequency, you guys, I want to talk about your own frequency because I went in a lot of different areas of subjects in terms of frequency. But one thing that I didn't touch on upon that much was your own frequency and how you're able to sense it. So, talking about ourselves, one of the biggest ways in which you're able to sense and pick up upon your own frequency is to basically clear everything out of your mind, right? Go to a mirror. You can even hold a mirror up, or you can look in the bathroom mirror, or your room, anywhere that you want, and basically look into your eyes in that mirror. It's gonna feel odd at first, and just stare, right? After about 10 seconds of staring at yourself, you're gonna be able to pick up your frequency through that mirrored eye contact. And it may feel dense for some people, it may feel uplifting for someone. Everyone's different. It's going to feel the same for each and every one of us. But one thing I want you to do is that if you feel like it's dense or that it's heavy, start working on your breathing. Start breathing deeply. You'll notice that things will start to lift off. Also, you can even do things such as changing your thoughts, having elevated positive thoughts, and you'll notice that frequency is starting to shift and starting to change. So you guys, I really hope that you like this video. Please drop your comments down below. Let me know if you have any thoughts or comments upon frequency. Like and subscribe. Peace. Happy New Year, everyone.